Thank you all for coming out tonight. And for the straight people, thanks for being here. Many of you have traveled across the country, and we're so happy you chose to be part of this anything but traditional wedding. This is such a happy moment watching Dany today and being able to reflect on all the years I watched them grow up. I thought Dany was the cutest baby ever, and I'm lucky to have been able to watch him become the person they are today. When Dany was 2 years old and in daycare, there was a girl that was quite bossy. For the purposes of this story, we'll call her Angelica Pickles. So, since Dany had exhibited some good behavior, Tom and I took him to Toys R Us to be spoiled. All he wanted was a Barbie doll. And not just any Barbie doll, but the most expensive, glittery Barbie doll available. The next day, he took the doll to daycare, where Angelica immediately ripped it from his hands. Dany didn't really care about the Barbie. He just wanted to make Angelica envious. The true sign we knew Dany was gay was not him wanting the Barbie, but wanting to make somebody jealous. Dany tells me being petty is one of the ultimate characteristics of being gay, so when he came out, it was no big revelation. Dany caught the theater bug in middle school, and he loved being in plays throughout high school. When he told Tom and I that he wanted to study theater in college, I'll admit I rolled my eyes, and I said things like, "You'll never get a job, and you're going to starve, and you could always do theater as a hobby, and of course my favorite is you're really good in math." Yes. They, of course, did go to college for theater at Muhlenberg. And Dany did get a job directly out of college in theater. When he called me to tell me about the job, he might have said, "I told you so." It's that petty thing again. Dany made a big life change moving out of the theater, but his timing was impeccable since he did it right before the pandemic. Dany and Bryan started dating in December of 2019. I visited Philly the following April for an annual mother-son theater trip. Before we headed to New York, I was going to meet Bryan. During the same time, Bryan and his mother and his Aunt Esther planned to go to a drag show. Dany asked if I wanted to go along, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, sounds like fun." I was also thinking, he must really like this guy if he's already introducing me to his family. The warm-up act was a rapper with some backup dancers. The dude had a good voice and some fun music, but he just kept saying, "Put your pussy on a pedestal." Well, I don't disagree with the sentiment. The guy repeated this line about 300 times. It was a little overwhelming, and when the song was over, Bryan looked mortified. But I could also see how loving and protective he was of his mom. It was so cute. I think most people meet their kids' prospective in-laws over dinner and polite conversation. Lil, Esther, and I, we bonded over the Black Girl Magic Drag Show. Well, as you've already heard the story, Dany and Bryan's first date involved a bar fight. They were at a bike stop for a nightcap when a random stranger punched Dany in the face. Some people might have questioned their next move or headed out the door. Fortunately, Bryan's a good person, and he immediately picked Dany up and made sure he was okay. Aww. Fortunately, better than that, he accompanied Dany to a hearing where the assailant was held responsible. That is the kind of person Bryan is, always there to bolster Dany up. I love their relationship. They always are there for each other. Dany is definitely an extrovert. When COVID hit, it was pretty hard on Dany, who was so used to a crazy, active social life. But Bryan was able to show him that cuddling on the couch with Brock watching baking shows could also be just as good. One thing they share is the love of games, especially Pokemon. In fact, does anyone know if they set up a Pokemon gym here tonight? Did you? Bryan, the Guy family is so happy to make you part of our family. You're a kind and gentle person, and you make my wonderful son happy. On top of that, we really appreciate that you've upped the average height and shoulder span of our clan by several inches. Tom and I, raise your glass, Tom and I want to wish you two a long, fun, and joyous marriage. Thank you.
Cheers, everybody. Make some noise for Lisa, Dany's mom.